What up, guys? WinMod. Was out feeding a rabbit earlier, and I happened to look down on an old pallet, and this young one was hanging around. Just born not too long ago. He's only a couple weeks old. Eastern rat snake, most likely a black eastern rat, or a black rat as they call them. They're now just eastern rats, central rats. They don't really called by their color designation anymore. But where I'm at, the majority of the rat snakes here are black, eastern black rats. Every once in a while we'll get some grays up here, but we are at the very northern edge of the gray rat range. I've only seen maybe one or two in my life. And the thing is, the difficulty is when they are born, blacks and grays look identical. It's very hard to distinguish them until they get a little older. Like I said, I'm not even sure. This one's too young to sex yet, so I'm not sure if it's a male or female. But like I said, he's only about 10 or 12 inches. So he's only a couple weeks old. Maybe just a week or two. But you can see a good close-up of them. Rat snake, especially when they're born, they have beautiful head stamps. Always enjoyed, this age group and a little older. The head stamps on them are really, really cool looking. Feels hold still. He's a little squirmish, which is typical, but try to get an undershot of him. The belly. Some of them have like a checker pattern. Some of them are just like straight white, like a cream white color. But yeah, this is, I'm almost 100% sure this is an eastern black rat. Like I said, as you get older, the scales and the coloring and the patterns will change to distinguish them distinguish the blacks and the grays. But this is actually the first juvenile, or the first baby actually I found this year on the property, on this property. So it's pretty cool. So mama's around somewhere. I mean, he's only maybe a week, 2 weeks at the most. Maybe a little older. I mean, depending on what their food source is. There's a lot of bugs and shit over there. But it's pretty cool. Wasn't expecting it. Went to get into the grain bin, the pellet bin, and happened to look down, and there he was, just chilling, all stretched out. So pretty neat find here, early fall, central PA. They'll soon be. We got a cold snap coming, and the majority of the snakes will be out of here until next spring, late spring-ish, May. So that was a really cool find. Like I said, their head stamps are just, between these and corn snakes, which are a rat snake. I might have to switch hands again. But between corns and true eastern rats and stuff like that. See, there you can see his checkering on his belly. He's coming up to check the camera out, check the phone out. But yeah, the head stamps are just really cool. It's almost like a face. There's a good shot of it. It's almost like a symbol. But yeah, eastern rats, especially the black ones up in this area, they can get very big. They're actually our longest snake, and second heaviest snake, which I debate that because I still think they're heavy. I mean, the eastern timber, or the timber rattlesnake here, is our heaviest snake. Trying to handle him. Eastern timber is the heaviest snake here in PA. I just dropped him. chill out, bud. The timber rattlesnake is our heaviest, and then our longest is obviously the rat snake, the eastern black, which is what he is. If healthy enough, you know, and they live long enough, they can get 7, 8, 9 feet. Very long snakes. Now, your average one around here, I was between 6 and 7, I would say. 6 is about average. Every once in a while you see 7s, but I mean, I've seen them already 8, 9 feet where they have completely stretched out, you know, both lanes of road, you know. You got a 2-lane road and they're completely stretched out from berm to berm. And they can get real heavy too. They're not just real skinny snakes like racers, like the black racers and stuff like that. They're a thick snake, and they eat a lot. They eat a lot. They can eat a lot at one time. But yeah, really cool. I usually get this guy situated. I usually see a couple of these, you know, around the area, and I seen one, I think one ring neck, which is a full-grown ring neck, is about the size of this guy. I mean, ring necks only get, you know, 12, 14, 16 inches max, full-grown. So I did see one of those this year. And I seen a DeKay's brown, which they get a little bigger and a little thicker than this. Full-grown. They're not a real big snake either. But this is the first baby, or super young juvenile rat snake that I've seen here this year. As you can see, when they're younger, they have really big eyes. And it's almost that you can almost mistake them, because a racer, actually looking at him, you got to be careful too up here, because the racers up here do look very similar. Just trying to get him manipulated here. Come on, buddy, hold still. This could be, I don't think this is a racer. It could be, but the thing with the racers are, they have extremely big, like, bulgy eyes. That's how you can tell, like, a full-grown racer from a rat snake. The rat snakes will have, like, eyes that are more proportionate to their body, whereas a racer, their eyes are huge. They almost, like, bulge out. I'm almost positive that's a rat snake. But like I was saying, the baby racers up here look very similar to baby rats. And it's crazy because baby racers look nothing like they do when they're adults. They have patterns like this. And a lot of people mistake, you know, a baby racer for a rat. So I'll have to do some more research. I'm pretty sure just by the patterning, this is a rat snake. It could be a racer though. I'm gonna have to double check. I'll leave in the comments if I hang on, buddy. Don't fall again. I'll leave it in the comments if I find that this is a racer, but I'm pretty sure it's a rat, just by his head stamp. Racers do have them too, to an extent, but I'm pretty sure it's a rat. But let me, not sure if I want to do with them. I already have 2 snakes. I got a king snake and a corn snake, as you guys see in my feeding videos, but we'll see. Not hold still, buddy. Not sure what I want to do with them yet. I might keep them. I mean, if you get them this age and you start them on, you know, frozen stuff, to where they're not used to eating wild stuff, they'll be fine. So we'll see. But let me do some research on this guy. I'm pretty sure it's a rat. let me check some pictures and stuff, and I'll leave it down in the comments if he is indeed a racer or rat, but I'm almost positive he's a rat. Beautiful checkering though on his underbelly. That's what makes me think he's a rat. But I'm gonna put this guy in a bin. I'll call around. I have some buddies that, you know, were looking for some snakes. I said, hey, if you ever find a wild one, a baby, let me know. So I'll give them a call and see what's up. And if they don't want them, I'll put them back. Look at that head stamp. It's almost like a face. You can see the two eyes, and right behind him and in the middle between his eyes, you can see almost like a mouth. Very cool. Very cool head stamps. And then the patterning that just goes back, those dots, that's what they call like a motley. Very common on rat snakes. That's why I'm pretty sure this is a rat. But you gotta be careful. Like I said, baby racers look similar to this, and they look nothing like they do when they are full grown. But he's checking out the camera. Chill little guy. Or girl, I'm not sure. I can't. Maybe they're too young to sex. I mean, you can sex them, but I'm not getting into it. When they're older, you can tell by tail length and size. You know, males have a long, from their cloaca down to the tip of their tail, which is where they poop and pee. From that down, if it's a male, it will taper like gradually. You know, it'll be kind of like longer and skinnier from the cloaca down, whereas a female, on the majority of snakes, from the cloaca down will be kind of like fat and stubby. You know, shorter and fatter and stubbier from the cloaca to the tip. So, short stubby tail is female. Long skinny tails are males on most snakes. You know, some of your venomous snakes are a little different, but for the most part that holds true. Unlike the coral snake rhyme, you know, red on black, you're okay, Jack. Red on yellow, you're a dead fellow. That's another Western myth, delusional, retarded myth that's not true. Because you have scarlet snakes, you have scarlet king snakes, which have similar patterns to coral snakes, and if you get them mixed up, they will fucking kill you. Because coral snakes, while they're not aggressive snakes, their venom is very toxic. It's actually king snakes are pretty much immune. It's not really an immunity. They just are usually unfazed by venomous snakes in North America. You know, Massasaugas, timbers, copperheads, cottonmouths, or water moccasins, whatever you prefer to call them. King snakes can eat them. They can take bites from all those snakes and not be phased. That's why they're called king snakes. And they will eat them head first too, alive. King snakes are just amazing, which they are in the same family as this guy's rats. They're all colubrids. However, the only venomous snake in North America that has been proven and can kill a king snake upon bite is the coral snake. Whether it's the Texas coral, you know, the eastern coral snake, or any coral snake, it has been proven that the king snake, while not all the time, it is the only snake that has been proven to actually host a venom yield that will kill a king snake. So keep that in mind. King snakes are beasts. They are kings for a reason. However, coral snakes have the ability to kill them with their venom. The only venomous snakes in North America that a king is susceptible to. So, little video here, 14.5 minutes here, so I'm going to end it. And I'll put this guy in a little tub with some substrate. He checks out the phone one more time. But last look at the little guy. Or girl. Pretty sure it's a rat snake. Looks like an eastern black. But I will get him in a tub and I'll do some calling and we'll see who might want him, and if not, we'll get him back in the wild. All right, guys, you have a good one.